Hi everyone, and welcome to ABA Me. I'm Hannah Brown, a passionate board-certified behavior analyst with over a decade of experience working with children and teens facing behavioral challenges. I began working with children primarily on the autism spectrum in 2014. Since then, I've dedicated myself to learning the complexities of human behavior using science to separate fact from fiction. I have my master's degree in applied behavior analysis and my undergraduate degree in psychology. As a behavioral scientist, my mission is to uncover what truly drives change and improvement. On this channel, I'm excited to share with you general evidence-based strategies that help parents better understand and support their child. My video will provide you with practical, research-backed insight so you can make informed decisions and create meaningful, lasting change. I'm here to help you unlock that potential with actionable, science-driven knowledge. Let's dive in and start making those positive changes together. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more valuable content. Punishment is deeply embedded in our culture as a means of teaching accountability and the importance of consequences for poor or dangerous behavior. Recognizing that actions have consequences is important for personal growth and understanding right versus wrong. In this video, I will help you explore the key concepts of punishment and reinforcement, highlighting the differences between the two, their effectiveness in shaping behavior, and offering insight on what age it is appropriate to implement punishment. Understanding how and when to use these strategies can lead to more effective behavior management and allows for long-term positive outcomes. So, what is punishment? Punishment is a consequence that decreases the likelihood that a behavior will repeat itself again in the future. Punishment has short-term effects with potential negative consequences. Punishment may lead to a decrease in unwanted behavior, but research suggests that it can have undesirable side effects such as aggression, fear, and avoidance behavior. In a study conducted by Miller and Shurtleff in 2001, found that while punishment can reduce certain undesirable behaviors, it does not teach appropriate alternatives, and the suppressed behaviors often reemerge. Research shows that punishment often does not result in long-term behavioral change. A study conducted by Carr and Durand in 1985 found that when punishment was used without reinforcement, the challenging behavior was likely to return once the punishment was removed. Using chores as punishment can also have negative effects on children, especially when it comes to their motivation and long-term behavior. When chores are tied to punishment, children start to see them as a bad experience and can make them less willing to do chores voluntarily in the future. For example, a research conducted by Deci and colleagues in 1999 found that when children are forced to do something because of punishment, it can lower their natural desire to do it and even cause them to avoid the task. A study conducted by Baer and colleagues in 1973 also found that using punishment for chores can make children feel like they have less control over their actions, which is important for developing a positive attitude towards responsibility. So using chores as a punishment might actually make children less willing to help around the house, making it harder to teach them responsibility and cooperation in the long run. And a research study conducted by Fisher and his colleagues in 1998 suggests that while reinforcement should be the primary strategy for promoting positive behavior, punishment may sometimes be necessary, especially when a child's actions are harmful or dangerous. However, punishment must be implemented carefully and in a way that does not harm the child's emotions or psychological well-being. Here are some examples of situations where punishment might be appropriate and how it should be implemented. Example 1 is dangerous behavior, such as running into the street. A situation is a toddler or a young child runs into the street without looking for traffic. An appropriate punishment would be the child's safety as priority. In this case, an appropriate response would be to immediately stop the dangerous behavior and implement a timeout or a brief consequence, such as losing access to a favorite toy for a short time. How to implement this: calmly and firmly say, running into the street is dangerous and we must always stay safe. The consequence should be brief, like a 1-minute timeout, and afterwards the child should be redirected to a safer activity such as playing in the yard or playing with a ball, emphasizing the importance of safety and teaching a safer way to play. Number 2 is aggressive behavior, hitting or biting another child or another person. The situation could be a child hits or bites another child during playtime. An appropriate punishment would be that the behavior is harmful to others and it is important to address it quickly. An appropriate response could involve a brief timeout or removal from the situation to prevent further harm. How to implement this: after calmly intervening to separate the child, you might want to say, "We don't hurt others and you need to take a break from playtime." The child is then given a short timeout or removed from the situation for a moment to cool down. This helps them associate the negative behavior with a consequence while also reinforcing the positive behavior of playing gently. Example number 3 is destructive behavior, breaking toys intentionally. A situation could involve a child deliberately breaking a toy or damaging property. An appropriate punishment would be the child needs to understand the value of respecting possessions and the consequence of destructive behavior. A consequence like losing a privilege or access to a favorite toy can help them associate the behavior with an unwanted outcome. How to implement this: you might say, "We take care of our things. You broke the toy, so it will be put away for now." The toy can be removed and the child can be given an opportunity to earn it back through positive behavior or repairing activities, such as helping to clean up the mess. Reinforcing positive behavior by praising the child when they handle toys with care. Number 4 is repetitive, unacceptable behavior such as refusing to follow safety rules consistently. A situation could be a child consistently refuses to follow important rules, such as wearing a seatbelt or not touching dangerous items like the stove. An appropriate punishment would be, if the behavior is repeated and poses a danger, it is important to apply a firm but fair consequence that conveys the seriousness of the behavior while also helping the child understand why the rule exists. How to implement this: if a child refuses to wear their seatbelt, you might take a break in the car and explain, "If you don't wear your seatbelt, we can't drive. It's for your safety." After a brief pause, if they comply, reinforce their positive behavior by saying, "Thank you for being safe. Now we can go." This approach applies punishment but also emphasizes the importance of rules and encourages compliance. Key principles for implementing punishment: immediate consequences. The punishment should follow immediately after the behavior so the child can link the consequence to their actions. Consistency. Consistently applying punishment each time the undesirable behavior occurs reinforces the connection between their actions and the consequence. Short and to the point. Punishment should be brief and not severe. Overly harsh or prolonged punishment can lead to resentment or confusion. And follow up with positive reinforcement. After the punishment, it is essential to redirect the child to a positive behavior and offer reinforcement for following the rules in the future. By using punishment only when absolutely necessary and in combination with positive reinforcement, children learn both the appropriate behavior and the natural consequences of harmful actions, helping them grow into responsible individuals. So, if punishment doesn't work, then what should we use instead? The approach that should be used more often is reinforcement. This is more effective for long-term behavioral change. Research shows that reinforcement is more effective than punishment for promoting positive behaviors and focusing on lasting behavior change. A study by Lavasse in 1987 found that reinforcement strategies helped children with autism develop functional behaviors more effectively than punishment-based strategies. Skinner's operant conditioning in 1953 is a foundational model that demonstrates how positive reinforcement can reliably shape behavior by consistently rewarding desired behaviors, can encourage lasting behavioral improvement. Carr and colleagues in 1994 reviewed studies on behavior modification for individuals with autism and concluded that reinforcement-based strategies, such as token economy and positive reinforcement, were highly effective and better supported in the long run compared to punishment-based approaches. Effective reinforcement is about encouraging positive behavior by providing a reward or recognition that increases the likelihood of the behavior repeating again in the future. Positive reinforcement tends to be most effective for encouraging desired behaviors, especially in children. Here are some examples of effective reinforcement strategies. Number 1 is verbal praise. An example could be when a child cleans up their toys without being asked, you might say, "Great job putting all of your toys away. I'm proud of how you helped keep your room clean." Why it works. Verbal praise boosts self-esteem and reinforces the behavior in a positive way. It helps the child associate the behavior with approval and attention, motivating them to do it again. Number 2 is stickers or token systems. An example is a child earns a sticker each time they follow a specific rule, like brushing their teeth without complaining. After earning a set number of stickers, they get to choose a small prize, such as an extra story at that time. Why it works. A sticker or a token system provides a tangible reinforcement that the child can work towards earning, which is especially effective for younger children. It helps them associate the concept of earning rewards through consistent behavior. Number 3 is extra playtime or special activities. Example is a child who completes their homework on time might get an extra 15 minutes of playtime or a special activity like going to the park. Why it works. Offering additional time for enjoyable activities makes the reward meaningful to the child. It strengthens their motivation to complete tasks like homework in order to gain more playtime. Number 4 is choice or autonomy. An example would be a child who consistently puts away their laundry without being asked could be given the choice of what they want to eat for dinner or the opportunity to choose the next family activity. Why it works. Allowing children to make choices helps them feel empowered and valued, reinforcing their good behavior by offering them a sense of control over their environment. Number 6 is affection or physical touch. An example would be a child who follows instructions or shares with others might receive a hug or a high five. Why it works. Physical affection, like hugs or high fives, provides warmth and connection, reinforcing positive behavior through emotional bonding. This is particularly effective with younger children. Number 6 is privileges, such as screen time or a special outing. An example would be if a child behaves well during a shopping trip, they might earn 20 minutes of screen time or time to go to the park. Why it works. Privileges are highly motivating for children, especially when it involves something that they enjoy. This gives them something to look forward to and creates a clear connection between their behavior and the reward. Number 7 is rewarding progress, not just perfection. An example would be if a child is learning to tie their shoes, you can praise them for their efforts after each attempt, saying, "You're getting so much better at this, keep up the great work." Why it works. Reinforcing progress rather than just the final outcome encourages persistence and helps children feel motivated even when they're not immediately perfect at a task. Key tips for effective reinforcement. Timeliness. Reinforcing the behavior as soon as possible after it happens helps to create a clear connection between the action and the reward. Age appropriate. Make sure the reinforcement is age appropriate, with younger children responding better to tangible rewards such as stickers or extra playtime, and older children benefiting from praise and privileges. Making sure it is motivating. Many times children lose interest in their original reward or change their minds. Remember that choice making is an important part, and it is okay for your child to change their mind in what they want to earn. Next is consistency. Reinforcing desired behaviors consistently to help children understand what is expected and ensure the behavior is more likely to be repeated. Variety. Changing up the types of reinforcement to keep it exciting and relevant to the child's interests. If a child is earning a toy that they play with all of the time, then they will be less motivated to earn the toy because they play with it so often. By using positive reinforcement in these ways, children are more likely to internalize positive behaviors and continue engaging in them over time. Remember that a balanced approach is most effective. Reinforcement should be the primary strategy, and punishment may still be necessary in certain situations, especially when a behavior is dangerous or harmful. However, punishment should be used with caution and always in combination with reinforcement techniques. Be sure to watch my next video where I dive into different ages at which children begin to understand punishment and share practical tips on how to effectively implement punishment tailored to each age group. If you found this video helpful, Please be sure to like and subscribe for more evidence-based insights and practical tips on how to best support your child's growth and development. Stay tuned for more content that focuses on creating a more positive home environment.